Hey, welcome to the stinkiest episode of the Pleasure Points podcast. I'm your host, James Rohr. We're talking all about smells and funks and what to do about them, feelings, birth control, how to feel good, how to smell good, how to live your best life. Because that's what we do here, with some weird anecdotes in between. Jenn joins the show. It's always better when she's here. You can follow me at TikTok, where I'm working very hard to become a micro influencer. Jen's looking at me funny. I'm an influencer.
Own it.
I own it. Follow me at Roar Wellness. In the meantime, enjoy this episode. Love you guys. Yeah, good. Let's start with tears.
No.
Welcome back to the show, Jenn. It's great to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Do you need a Kleenex?
Probably.
What are you crying about this time?
What am I not crying about?
You know, when we first started dating, you never cried. You complained about a bait and switch with me because, like, all of a sudden I turned into a mustache-wearing home improvement farmer. But there's a bait and switch going on over there with you, too.
Well,
You went from a girl with, like, normal feelings to now a woman with big emotions.
yeah. Not going to say that you did it to me, but you did.
Are the big
Perhaps
emotions connected to the fact that I have a mustache
Yes.
and am
It's all your fault.
homeschooling dad /
It's all your fault.
wannabe farmer?
No, you know what it is?
Tell me.
Birth control.
What about it? Oh, birth control just like knocked out your
When-
feelings?
Yeah. I think it totally changed my personality.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on talking about that, but since you're bringing the tears,
You brought the tears.
I'm going to cry thinking about how I lost myself for so many years on birth control.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to cry.
Take as much time as you need. I mean, your feelings are welcome here. It's totally fine.
But
This is a safe space.
it is really sad to think about that. Like, so many years of my life, I didn't really get to fully experience all of the emotions that I could have because I was just masked by synthetic hormones.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty intense.
It's like
I
really
wonder
sad.
about-
I'm
I
thinking
wonder
about
about
that. I'm
that.
like, really, it's really sad. I probably didn't express my emotions the way that I could have because it was just like, I was just all drugged up, like, whatever.
Think about all of the tears, the extra tears that you could have shed.
Well, I'm thinking, and I probably am just shedding them now.
Oh, damn.
It's like
Like the
backup.
backlog?
Yeah. Like when you switch over from toxic deodorant to natural deodorant,
What happens then?
you have like a toxic backlog.
Do people smell bad when that happens? I don't remember when I switched deodorants that I had like anything weird.
You probably smelled really bad and just didn't notice. For me, it was. I smelled really bad when I switched over. And like, you're just not used to sweating. Well, men is different
the
because
sweating thing is a real thing. Because like,
did you
you
use
know, in junior high,
antiperspirant?
yeah, of course.
Oh,
In
okay.
junior high, you're like terrified of everything that's coming out of you. And so I just got used to the antiperspirant and deodorant and the antiperspirant. Was it Right Guard? Oh, Right Guard. You'd spray it on and it would feel like almost like tree sap or something, and it just You could. I was just thinking about it. I could feel like those pores being clogged.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to use Dove. Dove was I tried them all probably. Also, I was terrified of smelling bad.
Yeah.
Pretty much always.
Yeah.
Still am. But now I don't have that problem because I have essential oils. But back then, man, yeah, deodorant, it's a big thing. Even when I started as a yoga teacher, I would tell my other yoga teachers to switch from natural deodorant and wear an antiperspirant because
I know about your health, but I got a business to run here. I can't have you smell
Exactly.
like a dirty hippie.
I was like, listen, you just can't stink. Like, you just can't smell going into those sessions. So you need to do what you need to do to figure that out. But like, you've got to handle it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was definitely a period of time where I think my body was detoxing when I switched from the antiperspirant over to natural. And I know some people have a hard time with that.
With the detox, but that's
Yeah.
like lymphatic drainage or like the lymph massage, like the dry brushing is helpful for that too, right?
Dry brushing is really good. You can even do a mask for your armpits.
Armpit mask.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like same mask that you would do for your face,
Yeah.
but you can do it for your armpits. Like a bentonite clay base.
And it's supposed to like pull out the toxins. Does that stuff actually work?
I mean, you have beautiful skin, so you wouldn't know, but yeah, it works.
That's what my TikTok follow. Well, I have beautiful skin because I was on Accutane for years.
Ooh,
Poisoned.
that's a whole other topic. No, but I do think your skin looks better now that you're eating better.
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
that you're happy and you're in getting sun every day. You're not trapped in that New York basement anymore.
Right. The
Like a
mustache really
basement
brings
troll.
it out, too. The mustache really frames the rest of my face.
Yeah, and you've been taking supplements for many years.
All the things.
You're reverse aging 100%.
Feels good. Happy to be here.
Me, on the other hand, I'm regular aging, like a normal human
Well, that's just a
with
mindset.
normal armpits.
I'm more and more convinced that aging is a mindset.
Could be.
Like I've been thinking about it a lot, like my beliefs around all this, just my beliefs around everything. It's kind of the homework I've been doing this week. And one of them is like, what are my beliefs about aging? That it needs to be difficult, that I have to be like, that I gain weight, or that sex drive drops, or I lose my hair, or like whatever. It's like, why do I have to, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Why are we looking at how people have aged before when they didn't have the sort of understanding or access to nutrients and supplements like we have now?
Yeah.
Like, why would I assume that whatever happened before is what's going to happen now?
Totally.
Like, I'm going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I am awesome.
Me too. I'm going to start face yoga tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to
Reverse
describe
aging.
face yoga? It's basically making faces at yourself in the mirror.
So basically, well, I don't know. I bought a $45 program.
Did you ever
On the
do
internet.
the program?
No, I didn't do the program yet, but I feel that this conversation is really motivating me to start it tomorrow.
How many programs have you bought online that you've never completed? Or maybe never even started?
The face.
I'm guessing at least 10.
Okay, so finishing and starting are two very different things.
All right, finish.
I would say most programs that I bought I have not finished. A large majority. But you know, what I think is I do them to get what I want out of it. And
Yeah.
then when I'm done, I'm done. So like if I do the face yoga thing and I learn 5 face exercises in the first 2 weeks that totally change my life and I love them, like I'm just going to do them. I don't need to finish the course.
What?
Maybe I'll come back to it later when I feel like revisiting it. You and I are opposite.
And this is the difference. That is like kind of the core difference between how you and I approach things.
But I did finish my quest for switching from toxic deodorant to natural deodorant. Has nothing to do with online courses, but I wanted to go back to that because I think I just want to finish talking.
Smooth.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish talking about
Hey, the floor is
deodorant.
yours. Wrap it up. Just keep
Well,
going.
just to give some people tips of why they might want to switch from regular toxic deodorant, because aluminum is known to have a lot of disadvantages for your health, which is one of the main ingredients in antiperspirant deodorant. And also the fact that so many people are getting breast cancer now, and it seems kind of coincidental that a lot of people are also using antiperspirant deodorant. And your armpits happen to be right next to your breasts and happen to be the largest lymph nodes in your body for detoxification. And so this is just a public service announcement. Please switch, world, from toxic deodorant to a natural deodorant that
and
is
what would somebody
aluminum-free.
look for a natural deodorant? Because the labeling can get shifty.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to find something without aluminum. I prefer a baking soda based one, but some people have sensitive skin and that doesn't work for them. So obviously we love doTERRA as our choice for deodorant. But you can also just use a salt stick. There's crystal salt sticks you can get at any natural store that work really well too.
And what is that supposed to do? Like neutralize the odor with just salt?
Yeah, salt is a great natural deodorant. Yeah. I also like to put tea tree in my armpits with a little coconut oil.
Yeah.
Also works really well. If you're in a pinch, On Guard hand sanitizer spray can go right in there.
Yikes.
It's a little more adventurous if you like your armpits to be on fire, but it works really well. Because the main reason why we stink is because bacteria. It's not actually the sweat and the things coming out of us. It's actually bacteria
Really?
in your armpits. Yeah. That's why you can also do iodine.
But how come when you change your supplements and stuff, or when someone changes their diet, they smell different?
Yeah, because what you put in your body is going to come out of your sweat naturally. But also,
But you just said the sweat doesn't smell. It's the bacteria.
well, no, your sweat can smell like different things. Like if you eat, 5 cloves of garlic or something, like you're definitely going to smell like garlic.
Right.
But the actual body odor smell, like when you think of like body odor,
Okay.
that is not necessarily the toxins in someone. That it could be just the bacteria in the armpits. Yeah, which is why, like, if you sweat and you're like your legs sweat, for example, like if you went in a sauna and you ate a bunch of garlic, I'm sure your legs would smell like garlic.
People use that for mosquito repellent, natural mosquito repellent.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I went to the jungle in Peru, and we went with, at the time, she was president of the Vegan Society of San Francisco or something. And everyone else was putting on DEET and all the mosquito stuff, and she was in the back of the boat just eating cloves of garlic.
Genius.
Yeah.
I never thought to do that.
Yeah. She got so many mosquito bites.
Really?
It did not work for her.
Oh, no, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, well, it's the Amazon.
Yeah.
The jungle's intense.
Amazon is like different.
They were
level
like,
of-
ha ha ha, your clove or your garlic, it's no match for us.
Well, I heard an interesting thing today. Actually, Fred, if you're listening to this, thanks for the tip. He said that if you eat a lot of bananas, that you're more likely to get bit by mosquitoes.
Really?
I was like, I eat tons of bananas, so
That's true.
that would make sense. And it would make sense why, when we went camping a few weeks ago, why it didn't get bit at all. He hardly eats bananas.
Just in a smoothie.
Yeah, but like not very often.
Yeah.
He definitely eats less bananas than the three of us.
Right.
He's the least banana eating, and also got bit the least amount. Almost said less. That is not a word. But that's really interesting. I was actually reading about garlic in my free time. And according to Ayurveda, people who have anxious thoughts and an anxious mind, I'm curious what you think about this from a Chinese medicine perspective, are not supposed to eat garlic because it tends to aggravate those racing mind, anxious feelings.
Yeah. I
Is
agree.
the same in Chinese medicine?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
it's warming. It can be like a warming and hot herb.
That's so interesting. So it's better for people who are more lethargic, who are feeling like lack of that fire in their life, to eat garlic.
Yeah, but garlic is like really, it's great as an anti-parasite.
Yeah, it's antiviral
It's
too.
Anti-parasitic. So
Antibacterial.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Such what you have to pick. You're like, you're going to be free from all of the parasites, but you're going to be angry.
Yeah.
Anxious.
You might be that
You might be irritable.
That heat might get fired up. Or if you can, wait till the wintertime. Wait till it cools, till the outside temperature cools down, so that then at least it'll be easier to kind of balance yourself. Or even if you tend to run hot and then you're eating or you're using hot medicinals, at least the colder temperature the seasonality of it might help keep you closer to balance than if you do it now.
Yeah.
Where you're just like hot personality, hot foods, hot weather, like yikes.
Yeah. Love all the hot things. Bring it on.
Yeah, until like in Chinese medicine, until you burn through all your firewood, and then you're left with nothing to fuel that inner fire, and then it's just like the crippling combination of like exhaustive fatigue, and then the perennial searching for where am I going to get more firewood because I have to stoke this fire, otherwise I'm going to die.
That's
so
when you
then
go
you
out
get
for
the,
Indian
like-
food. Thai food, extra spicy. Yes, please.
Yeah, temporarily. Yeah, exactly. Or you could come back and do breath work and deep breathing and qigong exercises and support your local acupuncturist and
Well-
use like nice, loving essential oils on your low back to reignite and naturally balance your hormones and your adrenals.
Yeah. That would be the higher self thing
Or
to
just
do.
go to get Indian food and
I just love
spicy margaritas.
I love spicy everything. But you know that, did I tell you the story when I was in China and I met that monk and he told me not to eat spicy food?
Yeah.
Now I know why.
Did you listen to him?
I did actually for a little while.
How'd that go for you?
I didn't really notice. I mean, probably I wasn't as fiery,
Yeah.
I would guess. But I don't know because I wasn't really paying attention. I was like 20 something, so.
Imagine if that monk had a 4-week online course. Imagine what week 3 would be like. But you would never know because you didn't get past week 2.
Well, maybe week 1 and 2 is life changing.
But then imagine what weeks 3 and 4 would be like.
Right. And so if I was ready for that transformation, I would listen to week 3 and 4.
Wow.
Just waiting.
I just can't stop thinking about how you don't finish the things.
Well, you know what? I do think, though, the more that I pay for something, the more likely I am to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the courses that I've paid that were over $500, I
Yeah.
finished all of those courses. It's like the ones that are like, $50, $45, $199.
Yeah.
I'm not going to finish
Those
those.
don't hold your attention.
Not usually.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've had people pay high ticket for some of my stuff, and I'm shocked when they don't, like, when they just peace out. They don't finish it. They don't show up on the calls. They don't respond to my texts. Like, just peaced out, done.
Or
It's
maybe
like, wow,
they're
like how much more do I need to charge to get them to get them to pay attention, to like stay committed to themselves.
Or maybe they just, after
maybe
doing
they achieved
module
the-
1,
Right.
they met the love of their life and they were like, great, that was awesome. I didn't need to do the rest of the program.
Yeah, but then like a text, like a heads up, like, hey, by the way, week 1 was the thing that I needed. Thanks so much. I'm happy in love. Here's the wedding invite.
Yeah, people are horrible that way.
It's not about being horrible. It's just I find it to be very curious.
Well, you know what I think it is nowadays, you don't really think about the other person on the end of whatever correspondence you have because it's all electronic.
Yeah.
It's very different. Like you would never be, if we were having a conversation face to face and then all of a sudden I just walked away and never, didn't say goodbye or, that would be so weird to just end the conversation like that. But online, like, it doesn't ever feel like you're talking to someone. It's just like random, like they don't know if they're just part of an email robot or like,
Yeah, I mean,
is there a person on the end of there? Like so many times people, they're not even the ones that are emailing. It's like their assistant or something. And it's like, you're not even talking to the person. It's like their PR agent that's like sending out some mass email that it's not even like, you don't even know.
Yeah,
who
I
it's
get
coming
it for
from.
that. But in the case of like a coaching program where you're getting one-on-one calls with the coach,
Yeah.
I just found it to be like curious. It's just really, it's like, wow, that's like an interesting, there are a lot of options that people have, and that's an interesting choice.
I think people are afraid.
Well, remember when you used to come to see me for acupuncture?
Yeah.
And then you disappeared for like 8 months or a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came back and I was like, what's up? Where have you been? And you just looked at me dead in the eye and you were like, I didn't want to hear whatever you're going to tell me.
I'm so honest. That's a really honest answer.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I was afraid. I think in general people are afraid.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to face the truth because that means, if you have awareness and you're facing the big scary thing that is there, then you have to do something about it.
Do you remember
like,
when
I don't want to do that.
When we were dating and then I forget what it was. You were like showing me hats or something and you like pulled down a hat and I was like, "Where's that hat from?" And you were like, "I don't remember." And I was like, "That doesn't feel like the truth."
Oh yeah, that was the one time I tried to lie to you.
And then you were just like you were like stunned and then you were like, "Yeah, I don't know, some dude gave it to you or whatever." I don't even remember what the full story was. And then for the next like 2 days, it was like I could see you doing the mental calculation of like, do I really want to be in a relationship where someone feels me that much?
Ugh, sometimes it's a lot.
It's a lot, right? It's like, it's a strange thing.
It can be. Also, sometimes it's awesome. Like, what did you do the other day? Oh, yeah, we pulled into Home Depot. Remember we pulled into Home Depot and you parked my car. Jim was driving my car, which he often does because I like to be the passenger in my life.
She's the passenger so much so that she ran errands by herself. And when she was coming out of the store, she went and walked to the passenger side. And then she realized that she was the one that drove herself
like,
there.
oh.
And she had to drive herself home.
Where's my driver? Oh, it's pretty funny. Because normally, I'm answering messages and things. But now that Jim's a TikTok influencer,
I'm busy.
Now I'm going to be driving again more. I love it.
Yeah, I got to be on my phone. I got to answer those people that have
Answer
no
the
respect
fans.
for the other end of the correspondence.
Got to talk to the fans. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying about the car. Oh, yeah, we pulled into Home Depot. Remember?
Yeah.
And you parked my car right next to the carts where they like put the carts away.
Yeah.
Like the cart dispenser.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Where they were like protected and lined up already nicely and neatly. And that particular parking spot was in the shade, which I know you appreciate.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're sitting there, and I'm like, I pull in, and I'm getting ready to like put the car in park. I'm getting ready to turn off the car, and I feel what I imagine it's like to get shocked by an electric eel coming from the passenger seat. It's like the very weird experience. I'm like, I feel like jolted, and then there's like a wave of uneasiness that flows through me, and I was like, huh,
It was me.
yeah. So then I looked at her. I was like, is this parking spot okay, or is this whole cart thing an issue for you?
No, you didn't even do that. You just started the car and moved it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. And you were like, I know you don't want to park next to the carts. And I was like, oh, he loves me.
I'm reading Wyatt is totally into this book series called The Inheritance Cycle. So I've started reading it, and it's just super cute because Wyatt's really excited. And this like kid gets a dragon, and he communicates with the dragon like telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little bit what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's just like as they describe what it's like for him to be like in her mind, in the dragon's mind, it's like in that connection. It's kind of what it feels like sometimes to be like with you.
Yeah, because can you imagine if someone had accidentally not pushed their cart in to the spot the way that they're supposed to, and it dented or scratched my door? The
Yeah.
dragon that would have come out in me.
Yeah. No one needed to see that.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
But I actually wasn't even going to say anything because they were all lined up. I was like, it's probably fine. Don't be so anal about your car. It's
Don't
like,
be so zappy of energy.
yeah, I was like, it's probably fine. Just relax. It's not a big deal. No one's going to scratch your car, Jen. It's Home Depot, 6:00 on a Sunday. Everyone's at home. It's fine.
But it wasn't fine.
But it wasn't fine. But you felt the resistance, and you did something about it, and I appreciate that about you.
That's wisdom. That's a guy who's been divorced, remarried. That's a dad. That's someone who's like paying attention.
This fight is not worth fighting. Just move the car. Everyone lives.
Everybody lives.
Cute.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. Part of the other thing that I've been like working on, especially lately, is doing like stopping justifying things so much. Like trying like catching myself when I'm making a list of the reasons that I'm right or wrong or whatever, and just like experiencing the moment instead of like. I had the reasons why that parking spot was a good spot. I even just said them here. Like the carts were lined up, everything was like fine. You said that it was late, like it clearly wasn't crowded. That spot was in the shade. It's all good things. But then rather than being like I'm right, like it's fine here, it's just like just move the fucking car.
Yeah.
And then your wife's energy won't zap you.
Yeah, I'm a zapper. Watch out. Daenerys Targaryen's got nothing on me. I'm Jenn the Zapper.
Yeah, you're like a human taser.
Oh my gosh. Only to you. Nobody else feels that.
That's what you think. I'm just the only one that gives you feedback.
No, it's because you're the only psychic one. Everyone else has got a wall of numbness around them.
They're all just busy thinking about themselves.
No, most people are just like, why does she smile so much?
It's
What's wrong with
true.
her?
People don't like you because you smile so much.
It's weird.
It's so funny.
Yeah, like I intimidate people because I apparently look so happy.
I just think they judge you as being super fake.
Yeah, they think I'm fake. And I'm like, no, it's really just how I am.
Remember Wyatt was like, Wyatt one day was like, Jen smiles too much. She's like, people are like talking at dinner, and he's like, I just look at Jen, and she's just looking at them, and she's smiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's like, she's polite, she's engaged, she's listening.
Then didn't he say it's because I'm not Eastern European?
You could have been.
Or was that because the cold?
Because I think it was the cold.
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently when it's not warm out all the time, you are less likely to smile.
Yeah.
Like many of the people that live here.
When I went to
our
Gdansk
area.
in Poland, the people just like, I called it trout face. They all just looked like fish. Because like that kind of that frown and that like far away stare in the eyes and just kind of like, plodding along in life.
Yeah, it's hard times up there, man. It's so cold.
I mean, everybody's super friendly. Like when you talk to them, like the countenance changes. But when you just pass them on the street, it's just like it's so different than Miami or LA or Vegas or whatever, nicer Phoenix and nicer weather where people are generally smiling and tan and happy. There's just this like resting trout face.
Well, I think it's an American thing because when I was in South America, it was also the same situation. Like I think in general in the United States, I mean, aside from like the big cities, but even in the big cities, if you were walking around with a big smile on your face and just smiling at strangers in the big cities, like people would probably smile at you back and say hi, or in general are pretty friendly.
Yeah, you know what doesn't happen in New York?
That.
Is when a guy smiles at a girl like that.
Oh, yeah.
I did an experiment. I told you I did an experiment in New York where, like, one of the things I love about Miami, like the ego version of me, like the super ego, love the fact that, like, everybody's checking everybody out. And so, especially where my office was, because everyone's
Right.
like fitness and Barry's boot camp and all the things. And so you walk by, like, guy or girl, like, everybody's just checking everybody out. Like,
Yeah, it's like
full kind of up, down, like, you sort
dogs
of
at
meat
the dog
market
park.
kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. And so in New York, I was like, it's like I there's like kind of a connection because you're getting checked out, but there's a lot of eye contact also. Like it would
Right.
sort of end with eye contact. And I was like, all right, it's New York. I'm not going to like eye people up and down, but like, let me just see if I can make eye contact with people as you're walking down the street.
Ooh, it's dangerous in New York, though.
Never happened. Like I would do it. I would walk 3 miles, maybe 4 miles a day, like back and forth between my office and my house. And, no, how far was it? It was probably 3 miles. I think it was a mile and a half each way. And yeah, trying to make eye contact with everybody, and like hardly ever happened.
That's because in New York, if you're not looking at your feet, you're going to fall in a manhole or step in dog shit or gum or something.
I did that experiment too. I was after like one of the first like 6 months of living in Brooklyn, I was like, this is bullshit. I keep looking down and like there's so much to take in, and like the joke in New York is that you can spot a tourist because they're the only ones looking up as they walk. And I was just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm keeping my head high and whatever. And no joke, 3 steps later, I was like halfway down on the next step, and I felt something soft under my foot, and I looked down, and it was a dead bird.
Oh, jeez.
Middle of the sidewalk.
That's New York for you.
And I was just like, like New York always wins.
And that's why everyone
New
looks
York
at their feet.
Always wins.
Okay, so aside from New York, any other place that you go to, like if we walked around our block right now and we were just smiling and waving at people, they'd be like, oh, hey, waving back, right? And they're all nice and smiling.
Probably, yeah.
But in other countries, that's not normal.
They don't wave?
No, like in South America, my host family, when I lived there, was like, you do not look at people in the eye, and you definitely don't smile at strangers. Like, that is not okay.
Wow.
Like, it's not culturally okay.
Por qué?
Well, as a woman, and in China
like an
too,
invitation.
same thing. It's like a promiscuous kind of a situation.
Ooh, hussy vibes.
Uh-huh. I was like, oh, well, thank God you told me that now, because I'm like, la, 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 la. Smiley Jen over here, just like, I'm in a new place. Let's make friends with everyone. Keep the smile on lockdown, ladies.
Keep it locked down. Well, that reminds me of one of my favorite stories with my sister and my mom. Hi to both of you, since you guys are avid supporters of the podcast. When my mom went to visit Becky in New York, and my mom, super friendly, like she's so nice to strangers and like the help and all the things. Like it's one of the things that I love about my mom, and one of the things that I loved about you when we started dating is like you're good to the help. And then I found out later it's because you like worked with most of the help when you were waiting
Because
tables.
I am the help most of the time, my whole life. It's like my peers.
Yeah. And so anyway, so like mom and Becky are on the train in New York and Manhattan. And I guess my mom starts like trying to talk to the person next to them. Like, how's your day going? Like, what are you reading? Like, oh, crazy. And Becky, who's like a super rule follower, she literally works in compliance. Hits my mom and is like, Mom, we don't do that here in New York. We don't just talk to strangers.
It's so funny. I could totally see that happening. I would have been right there with you, Midge, talking to the people on the train.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was like for me. Remember when I would go to yoga classes and I would try to make friends with people at yoga and the yoga teachers? And I'd be like, oh my gosh,
They were
I'm
not
a yoga
having it.
No, they would just be like, oh. And then like the conversation would end.
That
and
was
there's
so
me,
funny. That was the best part of going to yoga with you.
My big dumb smile. That's like, you don't want to be friends with me? Like, what?
Because you were like all tan and happy and like,
Smiley.
You had that like Florida glow, and you're coming into New York, like Brooklyn in January, and you're just like, I'm going to make friends with the angry yoga teacher.
Yeah. Didn't work out well for me. I did make a couple friends. I still talk to them, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. The cool ones. The nice ones. None of them were actually from New York, so that's why I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Transplants.
Becky also gave me a great piece of advice, too. I flew up there a long time ago to do a facial acupuncture seminar to learn like how to do acupuncture facials and facelifts and stuff.
Oh my gosh, we could try that for my new anti-aging face yoga, acupuncture. I need face acupuncture immediately.
Baby, you don't need that.
Yes, I do. Oh, my face is going to feel so relaxed. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
I got it once. Remember, I hired that one girl in Miami and she put those like crystal needles in my face. It was amazing.
Yeah, she did way more than I would do.
Okay, but I accept you the lesser version
Because
because we live together.
No one around here that does that stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely no one in
that has a
Dyer,
crystal
Indiana,
needle facial machine.
who comes to your house and does. Oh, and light therapy. She
had like a light box too.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I was up there for the seminar, and Becky was escorting me to the class. It was like my first time in New York, and we go to get on a subway car, and there was one dude in the subway car. Becky is like a cartoon. Becky grabs my collar and pulls me back, and she's like, "So you need to know, in New York, we don't get in subway cars where there's just one person. There's a reason that there's only that person in the subway car."
Oh.
And sure enough, like as she's pulling me out, I get this horrible whiff of all the body things.
Maybe he was detoxing from toxic deodorant. 30 days of just letting those pores release whatever stagnant things that were blocked in the lymph nodes.
I'm sure that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, well.
If we'd had essential oils, then I could have offered him a better smelling alternative.
Remember when I used to carry my little spray bottle around in the subways?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, the subway smells so bad. I can't imagine living in New York without essential oils. I just bring my diffuser, my little portable diffuser around, little spray bottles. Everybody appreciated it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't tell you that because it's New York, but I knew they did.
Well, remember just the other day? So we've got these like little portable diffusers. And if you've ever seen a diffuser, it like puffs up the water and the oils mixed together. And
the steam.
And so,
it looks like smoke kind of.
So Jen was dropping her car off. And, well, you tell the story.
Well, I was taking my car in to get an oil change. And I always drive with my car diffuser on. Usually I diffuse something like Wild Orange or Balance or something that will keep me zen when XYZ jerk decides to cut me off or whatever traffic mayhem happens. So I naturally was going to take my diffuser with me because I wasn't going to leave it in my car for a couple of days while they were working on it with oil change and whatever other things that needed to be done. So I just put the diffuser in my purse, but it was still going. And so I go into the counter and I'm, talking to the guy who's taking my car in. He goes, "Ma'am, your purse is smoking." I was like, "Oh, it's my diffuser." And then it turns out he likes oils and was excited to smell the Wild Orange in my diffuser. Thought it was very cool.
I love that. Man,
but your purse is smoking.
That's amazing.
They thought they were going to have a fire hazard. And instead, they got an aromatherapy experience.
Yeah. Well, for those of you listening in New York, you guys are fighting the good fight out there.
And
Stay
also,
brave.
let us know. You need a portable diffuser. Bring it with you everywhere. Your subway experience is going to be way better. Your life is going to be way better. I promise.
And you don't even have to make eye contact with people.
No.
Just let your purse smoke and ignore all the noise.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Everyone is going to benefit from those subways. Although I don't even think people in New York can take the subway anymore. I think it's pretty dangerous now in the subways.
I don't know. I'm sure they're still taking the subway.
Some people are.
You have to.
Maybe not at night. Either way, whatever you do, it's going to smell better with a portable diffuser. Amen.
And there you have it. On that note, this episode is like pretty much all about smelling good.
Yeah, it is. Everyone switch to natural deodorant. I'll say it again. It's really important for your body. Please.
Yeah, but could you imagine talking to like 7th grade you, like in junior high and all the things, being like, okay, so here's the thing. You're going to sweat like crazy, but you're not going to smell terrible. But you might smell terrible because you're a hormonal teenager.
Okay, so as we are about to have a teenager go through the teenager things, it's really not that hard. Like, you just have to teach them, what you eat makes a big difference in how you smell too when you sweat. So we would talk about that, right? And if you're proactive, right, then you never smell. Like, I get lots of compliments all the time. People are like, "Oh my God, you smell amazing." And it's just because I'm constantly putting on oils and different things. And, it's like I'm still sweating the same that I always have. But the shame of actually sweating is something that the youth, the Gen Z people and younger, like you guys have got to just break that cycle. It's okay to sweat.
Maybe they did break that cycle already. I don't even know.
And well, they all wear really baggy clothes. Like when we were kids, I feel like it was just everything was skin tight nation, you know? It's like
Yeah.
they wear these baggy sweatpants and baggy t-shirts and stuff. It's like you can totally sweat under there. It's fine.
We had like
You have plenty of circulation.
We had every variation of shoe deodorizer. My mom would get so angry at how bad our shoes smelled.
I bet.
She would put like, they had like the balls and the baking soda and like all sorts of powders. She would get so angry. She'd get so mad. She'd be like, you smell terrible.
Well, a lot of
I'm
it,
trying. I'm 15. I don't know.
a lot of it's diet, right? I think.
Yeah, I was just like sugar bomb central.
Right. And then you're sweating out of your feet, probably because you weren't sweating out of your armpits. So then it was all coming out of your feet.
Yeah. I don't know if that's scientifically true, but I'm going to go with it.
I'm making it up. Nothing is science.
They probably get to the science in week 3 of the course.
Probably. If anyone knows if this is fact or not, please let us know. But I really think that's the case. And think about it. And then your shoes don't dry. And then if you're washing shoes with just regular soap, that regular soap isn't necessarily like killing the germs and the bacteria in your shoes.
Yeah.
Like even gym clothes. Like think about, at least for me, before I started using natural soap for the laundry, my yoga clothes, my hot yoga clothes would stink so bad and like all sorts of things. But it's because I wasn't using soap that has antiviral, antibacterial properties. It's like crazy.
Yeah. So let's finish up the episode here for those that have made it to the very end with an awesome factoid. So speaking of birth control and smell, birth control changes your smell.
Yeah.
And more interestingly, it changes your sense of smell.
Yeah.
So women that are on birth control are less reliable, like they're less reliable predictors of who would make a good partner for them based on smell.
It's crazy.
Like their pheromones change and their ability to sense the partner's pheromones also change.
Yeah.
So birth control not only changes. So I remember when we were dating, we talked about this. I was like, yo, you got to get off birth control like before we get any further into this whole thing, because you need to know if you actually like the way I smell and like if it jives with you. And also I need to know what you actually smell like too.
Yeah.
It's like and I remember when you stopped taking it, it was like a veil was removed. Like there was like a barrier to like you that was no longer there.
Yeah. And then I was full normal me stinky.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own stink. It's important.
Yeah, but you got to like let that out.
You got to let your stink flag fly.
Yeah, totally. Especially early on in the relationship. You got to let it's like people got to know what they're dealing with. You can't run from your scent. You can change it with your deodorant and your diet and stuff, but there's still a core smell there that like your partner's got to know, because if they're not down with it, it's no good.
Yeah, and you can't mask it with deodorant and like
not all the time.
Tide and stuff, laundry detergent. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's just going to cover up the smell. But what we want to do is get to the root cause of the issue and just make you smell awesome from the inside.
Sweat rainbows, yo.
Eat vegetables, fruits. If you eat a lot of fruits, you smell really good. But apparently mosquitoes will eat you more, so good luck with that.
All right, I'm doing a watermelon fast.
Yeah, I think it's great. You're going to smell like watermelon. Who doesn't want to eat a watermelon? No one.
Awesome. I'm doing it. All right, guys.
Fast.
That's it on this watermelon note.
Sugar high. Watermelon sugar high.
Thanks for being here, Jen. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow me on TikTok now at Roar Wellness. Check it out. Lots of things happening there.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great to be here. I'm feeling very sweaty right now.
We're very sweaty right now. Anchovy is still caliente. All right. Love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye-bye.